Welcome. Thank you for joining today. My name is Melissa, and I'm here to guide you through chair yoga. So we will practice together for 30 minutes. Just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches are not working for you, you can always skip them, come on out and modify. And things that you'll need today, you'll just need a chair that you feel comfortable in. So if you have a chair that's at your desk and it has wheels, you may just want to put it in the locked position. So let's get started. We are going to start with a little bit of a centering. Take a moment to relax, to maybe practice a little mindfulness. And then we'll flow through a bunch of stretches that will be wonderful for the whole entire body, just to release some tension. So as we start today, let's scoot to the edge of your seat, and that will just help you to elongate your spine and to engage your core. Let's take some time here to close the eyes and to just relax in the moment, to drop into your breath, into your body. So give yourself this time to become aware of your breath. Notice your inhale and notice your exhale. With each exhale, just let yourself drop into a deeper level of relaxation. Maybe do a scan of your body and notice where you're holding on to tension. And with each exhale, try to let that tension go. Let's take a moment to set an intention. So that can be anything that you'd like. It might be that you want to relax. It might be that you want to release some tension that you're holding onto in your body. So there's no right and there's no wrong intention. Let's take a moment here, drawing your chin to your chest. Lengthen the back of your neck. Right ear to the right shoulder. Let's bring it into a little neck release here. And chin to your chest. Left ear to left shoulder. And back to center. And let's begin to circle the head. So we'll maybe find large circles and find smaller circles here. And begin to circle in the other direction. Maybe notice if feels more natural to circle this way. It might feel a little unnatural to circle this way. And let's bring this into stillness here. We're going to realign the back of the neck, relaxing your right hand down onto your leg. We'll take our left hand up and over. Take a full breath here to lengthen. We can take our left ear to our left shoulder as you exhale. And just trying not to move with force on this one. It's just a nice gentle suggestion of the ear to the shoulder. Bring it back to center. Let's realign here. Left hand down, right hand up and over. Full breath and release. And just noticing if the stretch feels very similar on this side of your body to the first side that we worked on. Let's take it back through center. We're going to take that right hand off to our left leg or your left knee. Let's bring our left hand up and over. We're going to land in a side stretch. And take a nice deep full breath here. Almost imagine that you could create a little bit of space in between the ribs. Let's bring ourselves back on up to center. We'll keep our right hand where it is. Take your left hand to the right leg and chin to your chest as you exhale. We'll do a rounding here of the back. And imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. We will keep our left leg where it is. Let's bring our right arm up and over, side stretch on the other side. And just notice in your own body where you feel the stretch. So we all experience each pose so differently. So maybe feeling the stretch through the side of your body, through the shoulder. And back to center. Let's take that right hand to the left leg. So arms are crossed and chin to your chest as you exhale. Let that one go. Let's take our hands up to the sky. We'll take a nice full breath in here and hands at your heart space as you exhale. Let's take a moment to work a little bit with the legs. We'll get some circulation and blood flowing right down to the toes. So on this one, let's take our right leg. We're just going to do a nice little kick out in front. And we're going to do that again. Good. So as you're doing this, try to keep your spine straight. So we don't want to be rounding our back too much. That can be a very natural tendency of the body. So keep your spine straight and keep your shoulders relaxed away from your ears. Good. Release your foot down. Give yourself a breath here. Let's take that left leg up. We're going to float it up and release it down. Excellent. Now you may have to scoot to the edge of the seat for this one. We're just going to do a little bit of a march. So we're going to take our knee to our chest, float it up, and then relax it down. Good. Plant your feet. Full breath here. Left leg rises when you're ready. Good. I'm going to take that down to the ground. Scoot to the edge of your seat as much as you can. Let's take those knees out nice and wide, and we'll just do a little windshield wipe of the legs to the right and to the left. Good. Let's bring ourselves back on through to center. Now let's build on that a little bit. So we're going to start by taking our right knee to our chest. So fingers will interlock. You're going to pull that knee in, and we are going to circle that hip. So we're going to work a little bit here with those legs. I know that when I am sitting a lot through the workday, my legs can just feel so fatigued and a little antsy. So this will be wonderful for giving a little relief to those muscles and just to get all of the blood and circulation flowing right down into your toes. Let's circle in the other direction. We'll just reverse that one. Good. Let's take that knee. We're going to pull it right into our stomach and into our chest. So this one brings us into a really nice hip stretch. So you'll use a little arm strength and a little bit of shoulder strength as you draw that leg in. Great. Now let's try that stretch, but just a little different variation. So we will avoid the stomach, we will avoid the rib cage, and now you're trying to take your knee to the underarm area. So this is just going to give a little bit of a different stretch in the hip. So we're going to use a little arm strength, little shoulder strength, really draw that leg in. Give yourself a breath here, inhale and exhale. And let's let that one go. We're going to take our right foot down. Left leg comes up and in. And let's begin to circle here. Find that movement. and circle in the other direction. We'll reverse that movement. And as we take the stretches here, just noticing it might feel very similar on this side of your body. It might feel very different. So our bodies aren't always symmetrical one side to the next. Let's take that knee into the stomach and into the chest. So fingers will interlock. We're going to pull that knee in. Give yourself a nice deep full breath in and a nice deep full breath out. And let's try to avoid the stomach and avoid the rib cage. We're just going to pull that right into the underarm area. So try to draw your knee to the underarm, to the shoulder. Give you a little different shoulder stretch here. Good. And let's let that one go. We're going to take our feet out nice and wide. Draw your knees to the right and to the left. Fantastic. Let's take those legs together. So first we will have our knees bent. Take a nice full breath here to lengthen. Let's fold ourselves down as you exhale. And then you can gently relax your hands down. Maybe they're going to touch the ground. You could also reach for opposite elbows and link those arms underneath your legs so they're back with the hamstrings. And on this one, let's try to relax our head as best as you can. So you might not be able to see the navel because the navel might be against the tops of the legs. But try to encourage your gaze towards the navel. So we really want to relax our head, relax our neck. And we just want to let ourselves melt into this one. Let's begin to flow on up through the spine, core engages. Now let's take our feet out wide. They don't have to be too wide, but we're just going to take our feet a bit out wide, a little bit wide. And then we're going to come on down to fold and we'll bring our hands down into the ground. And if that's not accessible for you, you can bring your forearms onto the legs. Now let's try out a twist here. We're going to bring our right hand down onto the ground. We're going to take our left hand to the sky as you exhale. Hand to the sky, maybe arm wraps around your low back, maybe reach for the other hip crease and take a half bind here. Let's begin to gently release. We're going to float ourselves back to neutral. Left hand lowers, right hand rises. Full breath here. Hand to the sky, maybe take a half bind if that works for your shoulders. And rolling that right shoulder back, left shoulder is rolling under, and feel that the heart is shining to the sky a little bit. Good. We can float ourselves back on up to center. So you'll realign back on through to your folds. You can take your legs together, maybe shake them out a little bit here. Great. Let's take our right leg up and over. We're just going to cross our legs here. You may have to press down to lift up just so that you feel even through the right side and the left side. Let's take a nice full breath here to lengthen. We're going to fold ourselves down on exhale. We'll come back on through into a seated forward fold. So hands can relax down towards the ground. You can always link up the arms underneath the legs. And these variations of folds are so good and so beneficial for your body. So it's really nice for the internal organs. They can get a little pressure. So we don't usually do stretches like this typically through everyday life. So it's nice to add a little pressure. It's almost like giving a little massage to the internal organs, nice little pressure and massage for the digestive system as well. And we're going to float ourselves up. Nice full breath. Let's unwrap our legs, left leg up and over. Of course, you can lift up, realign if needed. Full breath here to lengthen. Let's come on down on exhale. And also, we get other benefits. So it's a really good stretch for our low back. And with our legs crossed, it's nice because on the left side now, we can get into the glute and we can give a good stretch there as well. And we can also get a nice stretch into our neck when we relax our head. So again, maybe you can't see your navel because it's pressing against the tops of the legs, but encourage your gaze towards the navel, and that might help you relax your head a little bit more. Good, let's release it up. We're gonna flow on up through the spine. Let's come up to stand. We can do some standing stretches. And as you come up to stand, feel free to grab onto your chair so that it's nice and close to you. You can shake it out a little bit to shake out your wrists, shake out your legs, release any tension that you are holding onto there. Great. So let's work a little bit with our legs. We'll work on some strengthening of our legs. So left hand can grab onto your chair if needed. Of course, if you feel like the balance is pretty stable today, you can take your hands on your hips. Let's just start with our right leg. We're going to float our right leg off towards the right, and then we're going to bring it in. You can hold onto your chair or not. Also, if the wall is close by and it's easier, you can use that. So as we're doing this movement, try not to hold the breath. So that's very common, very easy. So let's keep our breath moving and flowing. And we want to breathe in and out through our nose. That'll just help us to stay calm and relaxed. Good. Let's take our foot down. We can take a nice full breath in and out. Now let's turn our right toes in. And you're just going to have your big toe pointing to your other big toe and try to keep your foot in this position at the same time, the whole time. So we're going to do those similar stretches, but we're just going to have our foot rotated in a little bit. Now we'll just work some different muscles. Good. And let's try for 12 total. Good. Let's plant the feet so we can give ourselves a breath. Now we're going to flip ourselves around so that we can access the front of or the top of the chair here. And we're going to try out some kickbacks. So hold on to the chair or not. Let's take our right leg back to start. So we're just going to float our leg back. Good. And reset. So in these, you'll want to find one spot to focus on. Find your drishti, find that one spot to focus your concentration, to focus your awareness. And once you find that spot, not letting the eyes shift at all. Good, let's plant the feet. Inhale and exhale. Let's take our opposite leg back, float the left leg back when you're ready. Good, plant your feet, inhale and exhale. Now, if you need that chair, you're just gonna flip it to the other side of you. And let's start with our left leg. We're gonna float it out to the side. Good. So these are wonderful stretches. These are so good for strengthening all of the muscles through the standing leg. We're going to strengthen all of the muscles through the foot, through the ankle, through the knee. We also strengthen those big muscles as well, getting a good stretch for our quad, getting a good stretch into our calf. Hamstrings working too. Good. We can release the foot down, give yourself a breath. I don't know about you, but sometimes too, doing these, it builds a little heat in the body. You can definitely feel the stretch. You can feel myself working muscles that I don't usually work, which is always a really good thing. Now let's wrap it up with that last one. We're going to have our left foot turning in. So we want our left big toe to point towards that right big toe. Now we're just going to try to keep our foot in that position the whole time. Float your leg out to the side. Good. Great. Let's plant the foot down. We can shake it out a little bit here. Shake out the legs, shake out the wrists. So let's try a variation of a down dog. And we are going to use the back of our chair just so that it's a little bit more accessible. So you can flip your chair around so that you can just access the top of your seat here. Now let's take our feet in line with our hips. Have your feet point straight forward. You can bring your hands up onto the chair and then let's walk those hips back. And we are going to try to create an L shape in your body. So in this one, try to draw your weight back into your heels. Breathe, get a nice hamstring stretch, get a nice calf stretch. And then create this line that flows from your hands to your sitting bones. You really want to lengthen the body here. Give those shoulders a nice stretch and release. Breathe in and breathe out. Good. Let's walk ourselves into our chair so we can just come on up out of the stretch. We'll come on up to a neutral spine. Let's draw our shoulders up, back and down. And let's take our hands back onto the chair. We're going to try a warrior 3 pose. So I just want to check behind you, make sure there's nothing near you. And we are going to walk ourselves out again. And this time, let's take our right leg up. And you are just going to feel yourself reaching and stretching in opposite directions. And if you had a chair and you weren't able to put it in a lock position, it can be nice to just gently push the chair away from you a little bit. And it's almost like you can experience a little natural traction. You'll reach forward with the hands and then you'll be reaching back with that foot. So it feels really good. Good. Let's come back. We're going to walk it on up. Come on up to stand. Give yourself a nice breath in and out here. And then we're going to float that left leg back when you are ready. Maybe imagine you could balance a block on your low back. So we want to really even off our low back and even off through the hips. Good. Let's release the foot down. We can walk ourselves into our chair. We're going to come on up to stand. Let's relax the hands. We'll take a shoulder roll. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's bring our hands right on up to the sky. Fingers will interlock, palms will press out. So we'll take a nice full breath here to lengthen, release to the right, and let's release to the left. So we'll just do a little bit of a shift here in the waist from side to side. And this one is wonderful for creating lateral flexibility in the spine. And take a moment to pause. Release your hands to the right. Feel your left hip pressing to the left. Maybe rolling that right shoulder under. Giving yourself a breath in. Giving yourself a breath out. Let's take ourselves back to neutral. Nice full breath here to lengthen. Take it off towards the left when you're ready. Try to press evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. And roll this right shoulder back, the left shoulder under. And back onto the center. Let's take the hands behind the body. We're going to float ourselves into Yoga Mudra, wonderful shoulder stretch. So for this one, you can interlock your fingers. Maybe you're going to square the wrists off, or you can encourage the palms to touch. Maybe imagine squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. And standing up straight if you'd like. You could also fold yourself down on exhale. Your arms can run along your back, and you can also release your arms away from your back body if you'd like. And try to relax the fronts of your shoulders. And just notice if that helps you move a little deeper into the shoulder stretch. Let's take our hands onto our low back. Hands can float down towards the ground. Let's flow on up through the spine. We'll come on up one vertebrae at a time. Let's take those shoulders up, relax them back, and float them down. Good. Let's try out a chair pose. So for chair, feet will be in line with your hips, and we can drop our hips back and down. So we'll take a nice deep bend in our knees. Arms can sweep to the sky. So imagining if there was this chair behind you that you could sit into. Draw your weight back into your heels. Toes are light, almost a feeling like your toes could lift from the mat. Gaze down, make sure that you can see the tips of your toes. So we just don't want the knees to float too far forward. And draw your weight back into your heels. We want our toes to be a little bit lighter on this one. Let's bring it down into a forward fold on exhale. And then as you come to forward fold, you can reach for opposite elbows coming into a ragdoll stretch. And then maybe rock a little side to side and maybe find stillness here. Hands can release down to the ground. We're going to flow on up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. As you come on up to stand, let's try out a shoulder roll here. Breathe in and breathe out. Let's come on back to a comfortable seated position. We'll try a couple stretches. So first, let's work with our triceps. We'll do a little strengthening for our triceps, trying out some tricep dips. So you'll grab right onto the side of your chair, right onto the seat here. You are going to gently release your hips down. So the nice thing with this is you can definitely modify, you can take it wherever you want. If you want this to be easy, you're just gonna have a tiny bend in the elbows and you won't bring your hips down too far. If you wanted it to be more challenging, you can take a very deep bend in your elbows. You can lower your hips down towards the ground quite a bit. Good. Let's bring ourselves back into our seat. Hands will come out in front. Fingers interlock, palms will touch and circle out through your wrists here. Let's circle in the other direction. Shake it out. Let's do our same setup. So hands on the sides of our chair. We're going to try a bridge pose here. We're going to work with a back bend, and it's a really great quad stretch, hip flexor, and psoas stretch. Have your legs bent. Have a 90-degree angle in your lower body. Ground firmly into your hands, and we are going to begin to lift our hips up. So you can gaze on the front of your body. You can relax your head back if you want it. Let's breathe into that nice low back bend, mid back bend, and upper back bend. Hips are going to come back into our chair. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. Circle out through your wrists. Circle in the other direction. Shake out your wrists. Relax those hands down. Let's take a shoulder roll here. And let's take a minute to close our eyes. You can scoot to the edge of your seat, just how we began our time together. Feel your eyes closing here. And just simply observe yourself in the moment. Maybe feel the heart beating. Maybe feel your body reacting to the breath. Feel your mind relaxed, calm, at ease. Feel your body aligned and balanced. If you came to class with tension, just feel how that has released with breath, with movement, mindfulness. Letting the eyes open when you are ready. Thank you so much for joining today. It's great to be here with you. I hope you have a wonderful day today, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Melissa.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Bye.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.